Uh, yeah, I thought I'm really impressed with the way we came out after. You never know on the postseason how your team's going to respond, and I thought we did great coming back from, a tough loss out in the ACC tournament, and we got finals going on, and it kind of was when I saw Northridge as a team, I was like, ooh, it could be kryptonite for us. Their ability to rebound, to turn you over. And we were able to do a great job of handling the ball. We rebounded well enough to win. And that first half, we've had some good first halves this year at home. We did it again, and that's a good win over a good team.
I'm just curious, kind of year one coaching this program, just how beneficial do you feel this NIT tournament can be for your program as you seek to obviously make NCAAs?
I think it's great. I think it's always you got to train your mind and your body to play this time of year, especially we're on quarters. So I think we'll always be playing during finals, which is the case whether you're in the NCAA tournament or NIT, unless I can change the semesters. But so I think that's, I was proud of our guys. I pulled them in yesterday. I said, listen, Northridge probably I don't know if their quarters are probably not as stressed about finals as you guys are, but no one cares. And I said the reason you're here is because you have the capacity to do both, and that's what makes Stanford unique. You're tasked with more responsibilities in the classroom, et cetera, and yet when it's time to compete, that's not an out. That's not an excuse. And I thought our guys did a great job, so I was really pleased.
After a heartbreaking loss at Louisville and Charlotte, what is kind of the vibe around the locker room, and how are you able to come back together?
I think we're down, but not that down, to be honest, because when you give a good effort, your team's usually going to have we're up 15. Louisville's pretty good. They'd won 21 out of 22, and we had a chance to beat them. And the way it ended was a bummer because I think Chiz got fouled, and things happened. He was really down on himself. I said we wouldn't have had a chance if you didn't make the steal and one and that, and he flushed it, and he's been good, and that's pretty easy for him. But I think our vibe's been pretty good, and the chatter from them is like the strides we made from when we had 6 guys working out at 7 a.m. 12 months ago, and some characters that probably people didn't suspect would have such big contribution. Benny, Ryan, Aiden, those guys that weren't mentioned as much when I got the job, and them to be making big contributions is pretty cool. And then the legacy for the seniors, like, we're not okay with that. Let's see, and just give your best. Your best is always good enough. If we don't win, that's okay, but give your best. Thought we did. Thought we played pretty good. Pleased.
All right. So, Coach, how important was it to be a 2 seed and have the opportunity to play a couple games back here at Maples, where you guys have been almost unbeatable, 2 losses, but multiple?
It's just great knowing that we won't leave the Bay Area. But I don't know if we won't leave the Bay Area, but I don't think we have to get on a plane till Indy or something. Is that possible? I think the way it's I don't know how it's all broken up, but that's what Jenny told me. So I was like, that sounds great. So let's see if we can do that. And if we're going back to Indy, that's fine. That means we won 3 games. So kind of, like I said, hunker down. We got Kent State coming out here. They had a big win at St. Bonnie. So everyone's good. It's fun. And, we'll have if we can get that one done, it'll be a fun one too.
Coach, not to look ahead too much, but obviously a big Kent State game upcoming, and then USF, who looks really strong on the other side of the bracket. A big Bay Area matchup could be pretty interesting. What do you think?
I think it'd be awesome for Bay Area. I love Bay Area basketball. Obviously, I've coached at both schools. I'd rather not play them because just because I work there and that stuff. But it'd be fine. I think. Might as well talk down the road. But if it happened, it'd be great. I think USF's got a great tradition, and they'll sell the thing out, even though it'll be a neat little environment. But we got Kent State, but that's okay. Like I said, it'll be in the Bay Area. That's fun. It's good for Bay Area basketball.
Just for you guys, 12 threes in this one. Just talk about it seems like got the 3-ball clicking tonight. Just talk about that.
I think it was a game we could have 15 or 16. Yeah. It was just we had a few looks, but made enough. And that's one thing they do. They turn you over, but they do give you looks at the 3, and they'll switch, and they'll double the post. They'll come off strong side. They're gonna, they dared us a little bit, and I thought for the most part we made, like I said, 8 turnovers and made pretty sound decisions offensively, and we'll need to continue that to keep winning. It's just, I think the last 3 games that we've been able to put the ball in the basket. We had a stretch there, that road trip I didn't think we played that bad at Louisville, and we lost by 20. But I was like, you got to make some shots. There's an undercurrent like, hey, everyone's like, you got beat. I was like, you know what? We came out of that one. We played pretty hard. Notre Dame, we played pretty hard too. We got to make shots, and we don't talk about it about defend, rebound, take care of the ball. It's like, hey, the ball's got to go in the basket. So that helped.
All right. So have you heard from any of the past NIT champions giving you advice or trying to get on the train?
No, not yet. I think it's usually everything opens up after you get a win, to be honest. And like I said, when I was at Washington State, when we got to the Final Four, I was really proud of myself. I made a New York set list on my Spotify, and we had Jay-Z, we had some random thing. We had some thought with Sinatra, Jay-Z. So I'm like, I got to go John Mellencamp to get to Indy. I'm trying to think of some other. I said Jackson 5, Gary, Indiana. I said we got enough to work out of that, but I'm like I'm struggling for some Indiana entertainers. So there we go. Oh shoot, we go what he produced. Then we got to. I didn't realize Babyface is Indiana guy, so we'll be able to work with that. But that's kind of get the excitement about trying to do that. And I said if we can get there, we'll go to St. Elmo's. We'll get a big shrimp cocktail and steaks. That's what I know from the Final Four, and just kind of sell these guys. And it was cool. We got to New York though. When we did that, we got our butts beat. So I'll have to stay there and play well.
Coach, what do you know about Kent State? Anything?
Nothing other than Shaw. I know Rob, their coach, for a while, and he's been there a while. And I just know that what I saw in the Ken Palm is it was interesting because they handled a really good St. Bonnie's team, and some of our guys watched it already. I watched it even before the game, and they have a lot of guys that have put 2 or 3 years in there, which is neat. Being mid-major and having, I want to say 6 guys that have kind of stayed together in this culture. So it doesn't surprise me they played well tonight, and I think those teams, that's what we want to be too. We want to be familiarity. We'll do what we can, but it'd be nice to have relationships with guys like Maxime. His 4th year at Stanford, and people get to know him, and trying to what college basketball. That's all I know. What college basketball guys stay 4 years, graduate, have a great career, and move on and do things, and we want to be like that. So Rob's a good coach. I think I was coaching against him. Is it possible when I was assistant at St. Mary's? Might have been. Well, that's a long time ago when he was head coach. So they'll be well coached. He works at it, and it'll be fun.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. How we going?
All right, thanks. Perfect. Go. I mean, something to eat.
Zach?
Top 10 in scoring for his career list. We'll open it up for questions. Yeah, I guess kind of first of all, talk about what was kind of the key to you guys' ability to bounce back from a difficult loss to Louisville. A lot of teams might have a hangover game, first game NIT. You guys seem to put that in the rearview mirror. Just kind of what was the key to doing that?
Yeah, our coach, he's big on, moving forward, not trying to think about the past or stay on the past. We're big on just moving forward, next play and stuff like that. So even though we lost that game, we had another game and another chance today, so we had to move forward, and that's what we did.
So Max, you guys were selected for the NIT. Just to be able to have that experience for you as a senior, but for the entire team too. Just what does it mean for you guys?
I think Ryan mentioned during our team meeting that it's really good for the young guys to see that Stanford can play postseasons and kind of set the expectation for the years to come. So I think in that regard, it's a really good thing for the program.
All right, so Max, we thought that. All right, just go ahead. So we thought that this was going to be your last game, senior day here at Maples. So was it somewhat bittersweet to be playing again here because of the circumstances that you're not in the NCAA tournament? But is it also a good feeling to be playing back here at Maples?
As Oziyah mentioned, all you got to do is look forward, and this has been my home for the past 4 years, so I'm extremely happy to have the opportunity to play here again. I told the guys, it was kind of like a pregame speech, that every game is your last game from now on. It's win or go home, right? So trying to enjoy it. It's kind of also what I told the guys down the stretch when they were shooting free throws, just enjoy the moment, enjoy where you're at. No, I'm super grateful for the opportunity. Obviously, you want to be part of like the top teams in the nation, so like you want to aim higher. But at the same time, like this is where we at, and like you have to be grateful for this opportunity and make the most out of it. And I think that's what we're doing right now.
And Oziyah, you got a chance for family to see you play again. So how does it feel for you playing back at home?
Yeah, it always feels good playing home games. You know, most of my family gets to come out, friends from, you know, high school, middle school, and stuff like that. So it was definitely good to get another home game, and I'm excited to have another one this weekend, for sure.
You had another 20-point game today. When you look at your role with this team, obviously it's really big, but even next year without, you know, a couple key players, you know, you might even have a bigger role. Just, you know, what do you think about, you know, all that?
Yeah, that's why I kind of, you know, been trying to prepare for that in these last games, knowing that next year I'm probably going to have a bigger role, you know, especially, you know, probably scoring the ball. So just trying to prepare for that as much as I could, being a little more aggressive in these last few games, so next year it's not a big adjustment.
Oziyah, the last play of the first half, defensively, you forced the turnover, which leads to Benny's final three. A big sequence going into halftime. Can you just talk about that sequence and the importance of the momentum there?
Yeah, I feel like that was a good way for us to go into halftime. You know, obviously making him turn over the ball, and then Benny coming down and hitting that step back three. That was a cold play. So, yeah, that definitely helped our momentum going into halftime. Gave us some confidence coming out in the second.
Maxime, 5 blocks today, tied a season high, I believe, from the game at Cal earlier. Let's talk about what have you done to improve that aspect of your game for this year? Yeah.
Definitely more work on film, watching what the best people in the NBA do, rewatching my plays. Even with some guys that are not from the staff, James Reed in particular, that I spend time with just to watch clips, get help, really. I think it's something that like need to be taught. We often talk about, you know, like defense, offense, etc. But like specifically in like shot blocking skills, I think it's an area I've been improving for the past couple of weeks. So trying to keep that rolling. We also had like a pretty big size advantage. So I took advantage of this, and let's make it 6 on Sunday. That'd be sweet.
All right, so how important is it for you guys to uphold the tradition? The 3 NIT championships for Stanford, 2 of them I've covered. But what motivation does it have for you guys to be up there in the rankings and have that up in the rafters, NIT championship? So how big is it that Stanford has a history of the NIT tournament?
Well, I think every player plays to win, right? We're competitors before anything else. So winning championships is the goal every single time. And on top of that, if you leave like a better legacy, I don't know how to say that. And as you mentioned, like have a 2025 in the rafters, that would be absolutely amazing. At least for my part, this is my last year, so I want to go out on a banger, if I can say. And yeah, I think that's why everybody's competing here. That's why I keep putting the work every day. That's why I put in the work every day. It's why every single one of our teammates are competing on the floor. And I think it would be lying to ourselves if we did not compete to win. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, like, we want to set like the culture, we want to like, you know, like prepare for next year extra. Like, yeah, but if you have the opportunity to win today, win.
Max, so there's a lot of, you know, NIT logos around the stadium, on the mic, on your jersey, you know, everywhere around. Does that kind of feel like a sign of success?
Sure, yeah, looks good. I like it. Colors are fine. But I mean, once again, like, you just play basketball, really. Like, it doesn't really matter what your jersey look like, as long as it's the same ball and like same baskets everywhere. I don't think we like pay that much attention to it, but yeah, like as we mentioned earlier, like the more wins, the better. So it's cool.
All right, so
Last one for the players.
So for either one of you two, Final Four would be in Madison Square Garden. So has any one of you played in Madison Square Garden? And would it be
Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Oh, they moved it to Hinkle?
They moved
oh,
it.
okay, I'm sorry.
No, so that sucks.
All right, okay. Well, have you played in Madison Square Garden, and then how exciting would it be to go to Hinkle with a movie being based about that?
Yeah, I never played in Madison Square. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of most basketball players, dream of playing there at some point of their career. But even Hinkle Fieldhouse, that's a pretty known arena and stuff like that, and that's definitely our goal. So we're gonna come out this weekend and games going forward, hopefully, and try to get there.
They call it the Cathedral of Indiana basketball for what that's.
Oh, really? That's funny. That's funny.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There we go.